All right, we are live. So the mic is on, we are live. So for anyone who's tuning in, this might be a little bit of a new one. I'm being joined by Carol. Carol, will you introduce yourself and your business name?
Carol Anderson with Raspberries Painting in Mesa, Arizona.
In Mesa. So we were actually neighbors not too long ago when I was living in the Tucson, Arizona area. So Carol and Nick made it into Expo this year as a kind of a last minute choice, which we're really excited to have them. To recap for anybody who's unaware, I put a post on Facebook a few days ago with like a clay beauty mask on. I was joking about coming to see all of the beautiful people here at Expo. And a lot of those beautiful people rallied together and decided that they would help me raise some money for the Boy Scouts, including Carol and Nick. And if I came out to the trade show floor and put on a clay mask. So Carol's here. She's going to actually help me put on the clay mask. We might have a couple of other people jump in and out. I'm going to hang out here and do some interviews with that clay mask on here on the trade show floor. I think I'm actually good with my hair too. I didn't bring a hairband lately, so yeah, we're gonna rock and roll with it. So, for all of those of you watching at home right now, this is a more recent acquisition in my beauty repertoire. It's from the Amora Vița beauty line from Budapest, and this is a deep cleansing mask with clay and microbes from Budapest, apparently. So that's what we're gonna do.
So I think what we'll do is start with your forehead. If that's
You're the boss here. I needed some coatings assistance, so I brought in a coating specialist expert. So we figured one of the topics that this kind of brought to mind was the importance of self-care in the industry. Self-care is something that I think traditionally women are a little bit more in touch with than some of their male counterparts might be.
That's not necessarily true.
Not necessarily true, and that's why it's a stereotype. So obviously there's some exceptions to this rule. We are going to town at this. Oh, got it. We're gathering a crowd right now. There are some really horrified looking men standing off to the side, outside of, and let's make sure it's like a thin enough coating it's not falling on my clothing. Carol has an expert hand right now. Have you done many beauty masks on other people in your life?
I've never done a beauty mask.
We're all learning right now.
Myself or anyone.
Oh, yes. So I've actually really been enjoying doing these with my son lately. Funnily enough, he really gets
to see that on Facebook.
Yes.
It's pretty cute.
He really gets a kick out of it. Also, he enjoys occasionally doing pedicures. So I've been really trying to emphasize doing little things like that with the kids because I think starting them young, thinking about some of these self-care items is important. When it comes to some of these different beauty things in particular, like masks and skincare, and I was just talking to Bill first earlier about massages. Bill is apparently a fan of, he goes and gets a massage every other week.
That's probably what I need to start.
I would bet. So massages are one of my favorite types of self-care because when I talk about self-care, what I'm trying to convey to everyone is this concept of taking some time just for yourself and doing something that's energizing for you. And that can look like a lot of different things. Self-care for some people is having a chance to just sit at home with a book and a cup of tea, uninterrupted. Self-care for some people is going out and playing sports with their friends. But there's those things that we need in our life to keep our cup refilled. And I think that it's such an interesting concept because it looks so different for different people. And it's fascinating to hear what are the types of things that people use to refill that cup. So tell me a little bit about you and your preferences, Carol.
Oh, I don't really relax a whole lot, I don't think.
There are a lot of moms and a lot of women.
Yeah,
very
our
much
kids
the same.
are grown and gone. This was really a fun vacation for us to get away.
Yes.
Mostly what we like to do when we relax is donate our time.
Yes. You and Nick are both really great about that.
Like to do that. It is, I mean, we're busy, but we do like to donate our time, and it makes us feel good, and it's relaxing, and it's rewarding.
What are some of the projects that you guys have been working on together lately that are near and dear to your heart?
The one that we're working on right now, we're about 50% completed, is we're painting the American Legion in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Wow. Amazing.
So I think people from around have heard. We had two sons that were Army Rangers, and one of them did not make it home. So anytime we have anything to do with service people, it is dear to our heart. We do like to be involved. We donated stuff for the Assistance League, which is a nonprofit organization that donates clothing and school books to kids. So kids are another project that we like to do. Anybody that needs anything, we like to do it. It's fun.
You love caring for other people.
Yeah,
And that's what refills your cup. Yeah. I knew that about your son, and just words can't express how grateful.
No, and there's so many with all that's going on in this world. It's heartbreaking, and I feel for everybody. But you gotta have fun doing what you're doing, and we love to paint. So a good way to get it
give back
through is give back with painting.
Oh man, it's such a testament to, I mean, you and Nick really live this in every way, every moment of your lives. And I know it's really inspiring to a lot of people in the industry because you are just constantly advocating for that, even in different markets. I know people reach out from other areas of the country to you asking about help, and you guys rally the troops and get people involved in the other areas.
And he is a chatty Cathy unless it comes to an interview, and then he sends me in.
That's very true. Nick is standing off camera right now. He's laughing. He's enthusiastic about this face mask that's happening right now, but he will not appear on camera.
No.
We'll have to sneak some imagery of Nick later when he's not paying attention. So maybe we'll work together.
Article, but
he really does.
He's a one-on-one kind of a person, and don't put him in front of a crowd at all. So.
I love that and appreciate that too.
Back to the beauty thing. I guess I'm going to learn a few things from you.
Oh, well, I'm learning myself. This is a fairly new routine and practice for me too, taking a little bit more time and doing these kinds of things. I think we can all relate to being so busy and so in the thick of things that it can become very easy to forget to make time for the things that refill your cup. So this has been a big one. I've started to spend more time on it recently, but I'm definitely still learning too. Yeah. Anything else that's been going on? Actually, when was the last time you guys made it out to an expo?
Well, we volunteered at the Phoenix Expo.
Yes, that's
so
right. That's where we met first.
Yeah, that's where we first met. We volunteered at that. And the other one that we were at was the Savannah one.
Okay.
So those are the ones that we've been to.
How long have you two been inside the PCA network?
We were licensed about 28 years ago, and Nick has been in the industry 45 years. And with his uncle that he worked with and friends that he worked with, they were associated with PCA 45 years ago.
So it's been in the family for a long time.
Yeah.
PCA has that kind of intergenerational inertia. Yeah, it's been around.
And the tough part is now, the COVID kind of threw things off, and it's nice. This expo is really, really fun. There's a lot of people here. It's exciting. There's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that people are getting out and about again.
It feels good.
Yeah, it really does.
To be around other people that are so happy to be here with each other, that's really energizing.
Yeah.
So you guys got in very, very early in the morning, right? Because it was a little bit of a spur of the moment trip.
It was a spur of the moment trip. And we flew in last night.
Come on in, Ron. Yes, you got it. Yes. You got it. This is my friend Ron. Ron, have you ever met Carol?
Nice to meet you. Raspberry painting from Arizona.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Ron is based out of Wisconsin, Sheboygan.
Yep.
Ron and I have worked together for years now.
Wow.
Yes, isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's been great being friends. So I was really happy that you popped by. We're talking a little bit about self-care, obviously.
Okay.
Which is something that Ron and his wife Kathy are also really great about. Kathy actually does some work in. Tell me a little bit about what Kathy does.
Isogenics, you mean?
Yes.
Isogenics is out of Arizona. It's a multi-level company. It's a direct marketing company or whatever you call it. But anyway, they have excellent products that are, everybody tells you that, and there is a lot of good companies out there, but we've used them for like 5 years. But one of their base products is, it's a daily supplement that you just drop in a bottle of water and then drink it. But it's the base product in it is Moringa aloe vera, which is the most nutritious, rich botanical in the world. It's got 93 different nutrients, and I ain't trying to sell you because I don't sell it really. I just
he
take
loves it though. He uses it a lot. He's very active.
I've taken it for the last 5 years, but it also has. Let me find it quick. But it has. Here it is. It has
a whole list.
92 different nutrients. It's got 46 antioxidants, 36 anti-inflammatories, 18 amino acids. It's got more daily calcium for bones and stuff than milk does. It has more vitamin C than oranges does in a daily packet. It costs, and I don't know why I'm talking so passionate.
You just love it.
I should just sell.
You should just be selling it.
But anyway, it also the anti-inflammatories. I've been in the trades for 33 years in painting, and my knees used to creak a little bit at times, you know. But since I've been taking this, I don't
feel
have
good.
I have other aches and pains. Don't get me wrong; it's not like the super wonder drug, but
hey.
Yeah, it's a good product.
It's a good mix.
And it's natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They add like a touch of a sweet flavor. I forgot what's in there. I think it might be
Like monk fruit or something like that. Yeah. Something
so
sweet.
it's not so green tasting.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about all the different forms that self-care takes, and it's really important to think about how hard and rigorous a lot of our work is, and if it's wearing and tearing on our bodies, it makes it a lot harder for people to be more active in other parts of their life that they might really be passionate about.
One other thing I gotta tell you about that's
Yes.
it's like a game changer. It's called collagen. So have you heard of collagen? So they came out with a product 1 year ago, and they've been working on it for 10 years, and it's called collagen. It comes in a little glass bottle, and you take it once a day. But it's removed wrinkles, and
this is why Ron is so beautiful. This is
removed
why Ron is so beautiful.
lines and all kinds of stuff on people. Even like, you know, you get older and you're
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm downloading the app, but I haven't really looked at it. But I wanted to show. I was hoping that I brought the booklet along.
Oh, okay. We'll be able to talk about it another
But
point.
anyway, it costs the super mix is like $3.70, $4 a day. You figure if you go to Starbucks and stop buying that, yeah. And then the collagen is like $2 a day, I think.
Nice.
But that is amazing.
Investment in your body.
Yes.
And a lot of people are spending more. So this is a very interesting other industry that I've been paying a little bit of attention to actually learn a little bit about how some of the sales and marketing works. But I didn't know this until a few months ago. Supplements. A lot of people, especially athletes, they spend on average of $300 a month on supplements, trying to take care of their bodies. We've got my friend Michael over here that I think we're gonna have to get to jump into the stream here in a minute. But yeah, supplements is a huge industry, and especially for athletes and people who are really focused and prioritizing on taking care of their bodies, they keep doing what they're doing. Yeah. So I was gonna ask, how long are you in for the expo? Are you here for the rest of the event, or are you heading back to Arizona? Okay, so we'll get to hang out
here
today and then tomorrow,
luncheon, and
and then head out. Okay, that'll be nice. So Carol and her husband Nick just flew in last minute for it because Nick is embarrassed to admit it, but he is going to be receiving an award today, and nobody deserves it more than this family.
Have you been in the PCA for a long time? PCA?
Yeah, I've been involved when Nick and I got together for about 12 years now.
Okay.
But we got our license 28 years ago. So the first, 50
you've been business partners for a long time?
Well,
in the PDCA?
Yeah.
Life partners.
Do you know the seat? Oh, you mean like marriage?
like marriage.
That's your license, you mean?
No. They've been licensed contractors. They didn't have a marriage license.
We've been a licensed
Because I was just going to ask you if you...
There's all kinds of licenses getting tossed around. Licenses to kill, though.
I was going to ask you if you knew the Siebenallers. From they were president of PDCA at one time. They were treasurer of the PDCA. He's a good friend of mine from Wisconsin, and then also the Groovies as well. But
some of the community.
I met numerous people, including John Peake. Do you know him?
I've met
From
John.
San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
But they all know him as well. And
awesome.
There's some of my mentors, actually. Yep.
It's really funny how much the network and the relationships build and build. So this is actually only my second expo in person, and it feels like I get to see so many people that I've gotten to know over the last few years, and so many of them that you just meet virtually, like us. Today is the first time that we actually got to meet in person.
Yeah.
But it feels like we know each other because we have for years
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yep.
Yep. This is actually also, this week is the first time that Ron and I have met in person.
Yes.
We've been working together for years, meeting monthly on stuff. Yeah. It's an amazing, incredible feeling to get to see people.
Yes,
And there's no replacing it. There's really not.
is.
So come on, Nick. Come on, Nick. Everybody get it. He's running away. He's running away, everybody. Nope. Can't get him in here. I also have heard,
Get on the ice and maybe they don't.
go check that out.
It's in Arizona. You heard of them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Randy. You gonna jump in here, Randy?
But anyway, I'm gonna
Jump in here. Come say hi. What are you gonna say?
I want to
Thanks,
tell you
Carol.
thank you for everything that you've ever done for me. For real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love working with you,
Yeah,
Ron.
no problem.
Yes, thank you for stopping by the booth.
Yeah, no
I'll see you in a little bit,
problem.
okay?
Yeah.
I want to meet Kathy too before the week wraps up.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Chair. What are we on?
It's inflatable. It's a little college style happening right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it
A
is.
little bit.
Where's the bong?
A little bit. No bong, but I do have a pretend cup of bourbon over there. So people,
Any extra sandwich? Where's the food?
right? There's a banana or a cookie. You want a cookie?
I'll have one banana if I can't find the sandwich.
Yeah, we've got the bananas. We've got they took all the sandwiches. They had them right.
Was it here?
They were right here. Yeah, they disappeared. Oh man, I'm sorry. Where were you guys?
Just went back to the room. I had to get some work done.
Relaxing for a bit.
Trying to remote in.
All of us. I had to run out for a little bit yesterday to run payroll for one of my clients, and just like people got to get paid. We got to.
Exactly.
Life does not stop because we're at Expo.
I
But
got one guy waving for an estimate and going, well, I can't do macros on my I stuff, so I need to remote in.
Yeah.
So I got my IT guy trying to remote me in, and he's having trouble.
okay, well,
So I can't do my estimate anyways.
we do what we can. So you might as well just sit back and enjoy Expo life for a little bit. I'm sorry you missed lunch. We'll have to grab some food here before too long because it's gonna get pretty wild tonight. I think the Sherwin-Williams mixer.
Always.
So as a quick recap, we're heading into, this is now day 2 of the Expo, but it's going to be our 3rd evening mixer tonight. So we had a nice PPG mixer on night 1. People were just arriving, getting to know each other. Ben Moore sponsored an excellent mixer last night here at the resort. People were really, they actually sponsored a nice cigar bar that people were very fascinated with. It set a very interesting tone and ambiance for the event. People loved that. And then tonight, Sherwin-Williams is going to be busing the entire Expo over to Disney Springs, and we're going to be hanging out at a venue called the Edison, which is like a themed bar.
Set back to the 1920s, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. I think it's going to be super neat.
They always do a very good job.
They do. All the sponsors really do a great job putting on this event.
Then we go out after that and have fun.
We should. Yeah, and we're going to. I think we're going to have a really good time after. Thinking Mangoes, I think, is what's being passed around. Mangoes is a local Orlando, Miami style club. That I think,
Watch for that.
yeah, people are going to wander out.
To Jeff to get him to take us there.
Exactly right. So, Randy, how long have you been in PCA?
In business?
Yeah, how long have you been in business, and also how long have you
Coming
been
up
in
on
PCA?
40 years.
40
so
years.
I think we're at 38 right now. Dad started the corporation 38 years ago, so I'm second generation, alone by myself right now. And then Josh, I'm trying to figure out how to handle Josh. In fact, that's what we need to talk about a little bit.
The succession planning?
Actually, I could ask you real quick, probably
Sure.
a simple answer. How much can I gift to him instead of doing shares
Only about $15,000 a year.
worth of shares?
Well,
Okay, so it's not that fast.
There's some nuance to it. You can gift a higher amount, honestly, to the tune of like 1.13 million in different types of assets, but it's going to be nuanced as far as how you structure it. Intergenerational transfers of companies and wealth are pretty scrutinized pretty closely by the IRS. So we should talk more about it.
They scrutinize it.
They do scrutinize it, but we can talk more about it. And I think that you might be under some limits, that maybe there's some good ways that you could do it and there won't be a big bite taken out of it.
That's what I'm looking into right now. I got a couple advisors, but yeah, we should talk to
Yeah,
to that.
absolutely.
I just came across that. Actually, it's David Chisholm.
Okay.
You probably know David.
I have met David before, I think. Yeah. Awesome.
And so that's what we're trying to do right now is get into the 3rd generation. So my goal is to maybe be complete, mostly out of it by 5 years.
Have the ability to just come in and cause trouble whenever you want.
Yeah, that's what the problem is. I'm too powerful of a personality, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to reduce my power all I can. I've been doing that for years.
It's a slow, long process.
It is.
It is.
It is. So Josh is actually good for me. He's quite the pessimist.
Come on, Ron, jump in here. Ron is actually one of the big sponsors of this clay beauty mask that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You know you have that.
I do. This was intentional. I called in Carol to actually help with my coatings problem that I had here. I needed somebody to help coat my face. We're solving coatings problems here at the PCA Expo Live. I posted a photo of this a few days ago on Facebook, and some of the lovely people threatened/volunteered to throw money at me so that I would show up to Expo with it on my face. And I told them I would do that if I raised some money for the Boy Scout troop that I'm in charge of fundraising for. Cool. So that's what we're doing. And so Ron is one of our sponsors. Carol and Nick are one of the sponsors. Maggie Kuiper is one of our sponsors. Torlando is going to match whatever Maggie antes up. So yeah, we got the whole crew contributing. Chris Moore said he would contribute a bit. So yeah.
My trip's complete now.
It really is.
Right?
Was this
complete? I'm glad I got to see that.
Was this a satisfying Thursday afternoon?
I feel like my life has purpose now.
I'm so happy to hear that. So we were talking when Carol was putting on the mask, I was talking a bit about self-care in general for people personally. I think self-care is a really important topic for people and business owners to be discussing, but also in the way that that plays into creating a culture in your business that prioritizes like a good quality of life and work-life balance. Because we're having a really hard time attracting people in and keeping people in the industry. And I think that's because historically, we were having another conversation earlier, trades work has been a very thankless job. It's very hard on you, hard on your body, long hours. And now we're trying to figure out how to shift the industry forward and all of our individual businesses forward in a way that's like, well, we still do hard work. That's incredibly important. But how do we also take care of ourselves, take care of our people? Any thoughts on any of those things?
I think for me, generally, what I try to do with my employees is I tell them at least once a week to go home, do something good for themselves, and to take care of themselves. I call them at the end of the day, and I say exactly this. I need one last favor from you. Say, what's that? And I say, go home and take care of yourself. Spend time with your family, eat something healthy, do what makes you happy. And I don't think they always do that, but they know that I want them
to do that,
to be happy and healthy and have a good balance and literally take care of themselves.
Yeah, I think it has to be a very present part of the conversation because it's so easy for it to be an afterthought. What about you? Any particular things that you do for yourself, for your family, for the family and the business that you run, all of your business?
Well, for the family, just like that. For the guys at work, and we have a culture built around that. I even hire that way. You know, we want what's best for you here and away from home. We want to give you everything you need, you know, whether it be mental health, you know, counseling and stuff like that. So we offer that. And so we want them to be healthy. We don't work overtime. We don't work nights. We want you home with your family. That's part of my spiel on hiring. And so it's part of what my dad really put into us is MTS Painting, my three sons. That's what's designed behind it is we're here. We work to live, not the other way around. Exactly. And so we try, you know, and we want to offer that to the guys too. More than offer it, we almost insist on
and emphasizing because otherwise people get burned out. Yeah, this is probably one of the best things I think I've ever done at an expo. This is drawing attention. This is great.
Yeah, this is and so with that said though, you know, for me at home, you know, what do I do? Because I just did a time study. I think I average 47 hours a week. And so too much.
47 hours at work a week?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, working. I mean, solid work.
And I know for a fact, we're going to get some comments on this where people are like, only 47? I'm doing 60, 70, 80. We hear it so much. We hear it so much.
Yeah. The one day was more. Josh had just come into operations manager. I knew it was going to be more. Mm-hmm. And so I expected that. And so, you know, the average came out of over the 2 weeks. But I broke it down into, you know, where we were, you know, what was going to sales, what was going to project management, what was going to general manager, that's my title, and what was going to marketing. I don't have a marketing person right now.
Got it.
You know, and so it's only 7%.
And it helps you prioritize, you know, what's the most important next hire for you to get some more time back.
It helps you.
It helps you. It doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it easy. It's never easy.
It doesn't make it happen.
No, that's true too.
And so for me, I'm classic car guy. And so I go home and do mechanics and work out in the shop. Yeah, I got a 67 Fastback Barracuda.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds lovely.
Plymouth Barracuda. It's a cool car.
I have some friends in the Las Vegas area where I live now that are really into cars. They do some racing out there. And I had a friend invite me. We were hanging out at his house, and all of the guys, my fiance included, were really, really excited for me to take a ride in the Corvette. They were like, it's souped up for racing. They go out and do racing. And I got in the car, and I was like, this is so cool. And like, we sped around the neighborhood. And apparently it got back to me the next day. that they were like, yeah, Morgan's really hard to impress. Like, she's just like, she was so mellow. Like, she didn't even care. I'm like, I have no idea what I was looking at.
You didn't know what they were doing?
Oh, no, I knew that. I knew it was fast. I knew it was fast.
My wife didn't know what a burnout was when I took her.
Oh, man.
Morgan, I think that even more than you putting a mask on your face at PCA is the best thing you've ever done. But actually talking about how painters, business owners, and their employees implement self-care into their life is really what's truly important.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a completely vital conversation. And I think one of the things that came up earlier in the event that I thought was a great point, I think it might have been Dan Ross and I were talking about it a little bit, but I know I was having a conversation with someone else too, talking about how they're putting so much time into their business, like, you know, working those 80-hour weeks, and then feeling like whenever they come here and they hear other people talking about, I go home at 5 o'clock, you know, it doesn't matter if you're slowing the business down a little bit, you're passing up on some work, you know, you've got to emphasize that. And it feels like getting permission to do it when you see other people doing it.
When my 14-year-old daughter, almost 15-year-old daughter, came to me and said, who doesn't want to talk because she's a Southern California 14-year-old girl. When she came and said, Dad, you're working all the time, we don't get to see you, I knew that I had to make a change.
So what does your work week look like right now, Ron?
I try really hard to do 45 hours.
How often do you achieve 45 hours?
Lately, I've been able to do it. It fluctuates though. Some weeks might be 65. Some weeks might be 30. I travel a lot now.
Yeah.
Now that things are back open, I get out of town. Lots of 3-day, 4-day weekends.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I really like about what Nick Slavic is doing with his team and building out all of his apprenticeship program is they work 4/10s, which I think is a really nice shift. People are still getting in a 40-hour work week. There's some pros and some cons to that because a longer work day, not always the best on your body or mentally, but having that freedom of being able to do the 4/10s consistently and really embracing a consistent 3-day weekend across the board,
right,
I know has had great feedback from him, from his team. They've been doing that for years and like they love it.
A couple of my guys really want to move to that model. I would like to, but I just simply don't see, at this time, I don't see me being able to implement it properly.
Yeah. There's logistical difficulty. Yeah, there's logistical difficulty with that, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about some of those different models, having more of the 3-day weekends, actually taking them whenever you have them, planning them so that you take them is going to be a really big one. What else do you do for self-care?
So I fancy myself an artist.
Love it.
So I have a band and I write songs.
Oh, perfect. What kind of music?
I basically write simple 3-chord sad songs. Country rock, alternative country.
Love it.
Like, you know, I'm a punk rock kid that grew up and played acoustic guitar. So
okay.
And I also do theater, do comedy. I've been doing comedy for.
Oh man. Hey, come here. We're talking about doing comedy right here. Get in on this conversation. I just screamed into this microphone, but Ron was just telling me about how he does comedy. So he's a performer too. Michael Isaac here is a professional comedian who's also a painter.
Yeah, so I do improv. Right now I'm in rehearsals for a sketch show.
Awesome.
We have, my wife and I have, my wife's a playwright.
Really?
She is.
That's
she is, and a teacher. So we have toyed with the idea of opening a theater. I'm looking for spaces. I don't know if that's going to happen right now.
But what a great idea.
Yeah, and that's just passion projects. So in my house, though, there is always some sort of art going on, or there's always a show. My wife has plays going up all over the country. She has a podcast that's doing really well.
Oh man, what's her podcast?
It's called Hey Playwright.
Hey Playwright, and it's geared for playwrights.
It's geared for playwrights.
Nice.
So, and she teaches in a prison. She teaches playwriting in the prisons, and then they put those plays up in the prisons, and then the good plays they do on the outside.
Wow.
So between my band, her writing and acting, and my improv and sketch shows, it's an art house for sure.
That's awesome.
And my painting company, or I should say our painting company, affords us the ability to live that life.
It's sustaining the artistic lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And I think that right there is a really great advocacy point for why trades, professions can be really powerful. So I would love, actually, a great segue into introducing Michael here. So Michael Isaac joining us. This is live streaming to all of my socials. Michael here is actually emceeing this event. Will you introduce yourself?
Yes, Michael Isaac. I am from Chicago, Illinois. Painter by day, stand-up comedian by night.
I can tell that you cannot take me seriously right now.
I'm loving the mask.
Yeah.
I want to see what the after is.
It's just the same old face, probably.
Yeah.
But this is hopefully going to prevent my face from caving in at the age of 40.
Oh.
So that's what we're striving towards right here. Yeah.
You got to be careful as a European woman, European descent. The sun really burns. Stay out the sun.
Yeah, people say that, but I love the sun. I love being in the sun. It is a trap.
I use a lot of masks.
Yeah.
I'm actually 82.
You do?
I'm actually 82. It's worked out really good for me.
You can't, at least tell the camera why. You can't look at me. You can't take me serious right now.
And then this right here on your chin, that part.
Yeah, there's a little
part. It's like a little drip.
Yeah, it's a little drippy. It's
like
a little
like a reverse rinse.
Somebody go to
Somebody tell me.
And get a sander.
Sand it off.
That thing off.
This is great. Me too, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Having my back.
Yeah. She was like, should I use the charcoal mask?
And he was like, no.
Oh, no. I would have ended the stream.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like would have really went.
Thank you.
We've
Very
all
good
seen
point.
those, right?
Yes, very
It's a
good.
valid point.
It's a very valid point.
These gentlemen have a valid point.
We are talking about self-care, caring for the people.
Yeah.
That is what we want to talk about here. We do not want, we don't want anything rough to be happening for the people.
I love you.
I love you too, man, so much. That's so good. So what we were talking about was how trades businesses can support the artistic lifestyle. So I was hoping you would reshare the story we were talking about earlier about how you came back into the industry.
Yeah, so I started painting in college. So I did college pro painters. Long time ago. I know. I don't use masks. It's the melanin. But I started doing.
Shoes.
I know.
Holy crap! I just saw
Are you
them.
just not saying
I'm
anything?
so sorry.
right
That's been like
wow.
2 days. You're so like,
I've just been so drawn to talking to you. Like,
yeah, I'm glad. Like they say,
Yeah.
if they see your shoes, they looking at
there, yeah.
missing everything else. So
Exactly.
I'm glad you
This is
appreciate
killer.
it.
I hope the stream can appreciate these shoes right.
Thank you.
Lift up the
that's-
shoes
no,
now.
we don't- You gotta be here for the shoes.
All right. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
So
And
college
so,
background.
college pro painting, did some home improvement, DIY, all that. So kept that skill there. And then, of course, started pursuing acting, theater, improv, and then finally landed with stand-up comedy and just completely pursued that. Started in clubs, corporate events, colleges, and then 2 years ago, 2018, now we're at 4 years ago, oh my goodness, started working on Carnival Cruise Lines. And of course, the pandemic hit and shut all that down. And so having 3 teenagers, we decided to teach them how to paint and to also have something that is essential because comedy and entertainment was deemed non-essential. And so it's the first time in a very long time, I would probably say ever, that I was not able to, support myself, like earn income. And so I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get back into trades and pass that on to my kids. So, so that's where the painting by day, comedian by night kind of comes in now. Yeah.
Came back. Michael and I were talking a little bit earlier about some of his sets. He has one in particular that's called FYO Couch.
Yeah.
So right now we're on the couch.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yep, that just made me think about it. Can you tell us a little bit? I actually would like to know, for one, do you have any social media handles associated with your music or any of that stuff that you do?
Yeah, I have. My band is called A Month of Sundays, and we're on Facebook. A Month of Sundays.
A Month of Sundays?
A Month of Sundays.
Okay.
Or Amos.
Amos.
There
There you go.
And nothing for improv. But can I say, for a man that will stand up and do stand-up there is nothing scarier, more vulnerable, or tougher in the world than stand-up comedy.
Agreed.
So anybody who's willing to go start and open mics and be vulnerable. There's nothing more vulnerable. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the real deal.
So
That's the real deal.
So with that, Michael was telling me, and this actually made me incredibly excited because I am a huge comedy fan, improv comedy and stand-up. Michael's working on launching, I think he said here in April, a couple of courses. Will you talk about that for a minute?
Sure. The first one is a course that I get a question all the time, like, how did you get started in stand-up? Oh, I've always wanted to do stand-up. And so that one is going to be called the Stand-Up Startup Guide. And that's for people that said, hey, I have a funny cousin, I'm a funny coworker, so how do I do it? The second one is for professional comedians that still have to have a side job. So I've been fortunate enough, pre-COVID, right, to do stand-up full-time. I was doing it full-time for about like 8 years. And so that one is called the Stand Out Stand-Up. So it's pretty much, how do you self-represent yourself, self-manage yourself? I did it all without an agent, without a manager. So all the things that I've learned over about the last 10, 11 years.
And even if you go the agent route, it's probably really useful information to have about what it looks like to do it on your own.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm from, south side of Chicago, so we have a very hustle mentality. And so that went a long way.
That here with all the entrepreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, and then in between is kind of what we're talking about. I'm probably going to do like a side workshop, mini course for professionals that just want to learn how to use comedy to speak. There are some schools, I won't say any names, that kind of blend storytelling, public speaking, and stand-up all in one class. Not at all the same. Not stand-up is a completely different beast. So, but I want to do something like that because you can use comedy and humor to better help your, public speaking.
Absolutely. And so the courses that you're working on, obviously geared towards the professional comedian space or people who want to break into the space. It sounds like it's pretty heavily geared towards the business and the economics of it. Or are you teaching some of the writing, like the stagecraft piece too?
The very first one, the stand-up startup, is going to be completely, how do you get material? I'm the funny guy at work. I'm the funny family member. I have people laugh. People tell me all the time, I should do stand-up. Where do I start?
So is it like writing the material?
Absolutely. So how do you take those funny stories that you're naturally telling and the things that you're naturally doing and put it into stand-up format?
Super valuable.
Yes.
Well, I'm actually kind of feeling, I'm getting some ideas here from it because I know some of our other industry partners and people are at this event. If you guys come across Paint Scout at all, JB, John Brown over there at, or maybe John Bryant, shoot, I'm misremembering John's last name, but JB over at Paint Scout also does improv comedy a lot. Oh, really? And it's something that Michael and I were bonding about because I haven't done any sort of improv in a really long time, but stand-up and improv have always been like a huge passion of mine that I really, really enjoy. I'm feeling like there's some potential to get a crew together for some of these events.
We should do it.
Yeah, we should next time. If you're tonight.
There's no
Woo!
Yes, and
next year.
Yes, and
now.
You heard it here first. Michael has signed us up for some improv. Get JB, and we're gonna tear it up. I guess at Sherwin-Williams tonight. They probably got a show. They got a show going. Make it happen. You're connected. Make it happen. All right.
Thanks for having me stop by, Morgan.
Thank you guys so much. I think this is what we're going to wrap up. This was a super high note to wrap up the interviews on.
Nice.
Thank you guys. I love it. Oh, Michael, how do we find you on social media?
Oh, Michael Isaac, MichaelIssac, or simply on Instagram, The Perfect Comedian.
The perfect comedian.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that ego. Yeah, I'm digging that. Cool. I love you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by.
So much.
Have a good day, guys. Enjoy Expo. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody else who tuned in to some of these shenanigans. I'm going to go clean my face and then break down the booth. And we will see everybody who's here at Expo at the Sherwin-Williams Mixer tonight. And the rest of you guys, we look forward to keep staying in touch with you on social media.
Decline. That's